while starting preparing for civil service, my first input my team gave was that you should improve your handwriting. And within 1 month, I improved it to legible level. My handwriting is not great. Even now also it's not that good, but it is but it is legible. That is the thing you need. If you have good handwriting, that is very good. But if you have bad handwriting, at least make it legible.
You should be able to read what you write. Otherwise, there is no point. That is all.
Yes, preparing for IFS, this preliminary. Yes, zoology has option. The question for Sriram.
Actually, both of us have zoology as option.
Is it? I didn't know that. Anyone?
Sir, I had attended last year the examination, and I found that one of the papers was very tough comparatively. As in comparatively means disproportionately tough. So is it usual for the UPSC to do that? And once in 4 years, one of the optional paper becomes too tough. I'm scared this time.
Last year, both of us wrote. Our option was zoology. For paper 1, I got 23 marks out of 300. That was the subject which screwed me in that exam. But this time I studied well. I got better marks. So it's not a thing. It's what you study. It's not a big deal. Whichever option you choose, you study it well.
So do you think some guidance will help you a lot, especially in the second paper, that is biochemistry, something? I mean, it's very difficult to read the entire textbooks and learn. So if someone is there to
guide you, actually in all South India there is only one, as far as I know, only one teacher who teaches zoology option. His name is Ravi Shankar sir. He's in Trivandrum.
He taught
both of us taught by him. And this time six of his students appeared for interview. All of us are there in the list this time. Even he is good with other subjects also. But he was a HOD of zoology in Wayanad. He has good experience. He has been teaching for some last 25 years. Even civil service aspirants also.
So I would be grateful if you are able to give me his
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, how many of you have given the prelims this year? Okay.
Let him complete. Complete.
How's the prelims score? Have you checked any of the keys? Yes. Okay, my advice about is that you start preparing now, not after the results are released, not after some 1 month or 2 months. You start preparing now. I mean, like, you decide for yourself that you have qualified the prelims and you are writing the mains exam in this November, December, whatever it be, and you start preparing now. You have 6 months, 5 months, and 5 months is good enough to crack this exam, the GS mains, the civil service mains.
Regarding the general studies paper, just one question on the ideas, on presenting ideas. Like at any point of time, do you feel that overlapping of ideas happen? Like for example, if there is a direct benefit transfer which I want to include in some of my answers, there might be instances where I feel that that can be a part of another answer. Will that be an issue in how it's getting marked?
No problem at all. It will actually be good that you are thinking about the same issue in multiple dimensions. You understand? You are writing about direct transfer in one question, and you can include the same point in some entirely different question. It actually adds to your value. It adds value to your answers. It's actually good that you don't look at it as a single question. You are thinking about it in multiple ways. Very good. No problem at all.
Good morning. Just to clarify on the depth of the examination of the mains, as I wrote the examination mains twice, and actually felt that consistency is the basic problem that I always met with. I mean, that's the issue actually I met with. Like this time also, the total examination pattern has changed. Number of questions will be more that we would be expecting, and every answers having introduction, body, conclusion, and writing that one for the coming around 32,000, 34,000 words in that I do accept that one. But what I want to know from you people, because what I missed out, how can we actually make that consistency happening for all these 9 papers? Because I also felt that around 6-7 papers down the line, I'm actually missing down my even answers at the fag end of the papers. Things can, as he said that handwriting, even I'm having a legible handwriting. End of the paper, handwriting would go worse, and quality of answers actually comes down. So quality of answers also comes down. I also felt that way because we ourselves know that what we have put up, and we will be expecting UPSC to come up with a miracle to bring it. So can you suggest me some methodology for, because around 6 months down the time is there for me. So what my gap I actually found out, and can you suggest me something on this?
This is a very natural thing, normal thing that happens to everyone. Even if you look at one paper in isolation, you start off writing excellently well, your handwriting is very beautiful. If you take the essay paper for example, you start off, your introduction will be excellent. The language and the use of words, the choice of words, your handwriting, the spacing, and punctuation, everything will be beautiful, very beautiful. But towards the end, you will actually struggle writing the conclusion. Then you will actually be fighting with yourself because you have written such an excellent introduction. You will actually have to live up to that by writing the conclusion. So you will have to. I don't know if there is a solution to this because this is something that everyone faces, and the same is the case with when you take the entire mains exam together. You write the first paper so excellently well, your GSA. Towards the end, when it is your second optional last paper, second paper of your second optional, by that time you are totally exhausted. You don't get words to express your ideas. You don't get the stamina to write the entire 300 marks. You don't get the energy to sit for 3 hours. It actually happens with everyone. So that is actually what they are testing you for, because especially in the optional, in the case of optionals, the questions they are asking are very mediocre. They are not asking very difficult questions or very idea-based questions, except for a few optionals this time. The questions generally are very mediocre, but what they are testing is your, what can you say, your energy level, your ability to maintain that tempo throughout the exam. That is what is the most important thing as far as the mains is concerned. You ensure that they want to see if you can maintain the same quality in you from the beginning to the end. If you are taking a single paper, a single optional, or the whole exam as such, they want to see if you can maintain that. That is very important, but as far as solutions are concerned, I don't know. For the writing part, you can actually practice writing. That can be very helpful. Because before the GS, especially for the GS exam, optionals are fine. I had taken probably 2 or 3 mock tests for GS, and the same numbers for my zoology optional as well. Medicine was fine because I used to write the same thing for my graduation as well, so that was fine. But for the other optional and GS, I had taken around 2 or 3 mock papers just before the exam, but that can help a lot. Yes.
Yeah, the basic problem that I also felt was, as you said, at the end of the examination, the lexicon we have, or the vocabulary we have, it's getting exhausted because I have used every and each and every word I know during all this time. And maybe what you, I think I also need a suggestion from you that whether that should be enhanced to another level.
No. They're very difficult to enhance your vocabulary in a short period of time. See, it is not something you do actively. You can't go home and read the dictionary for 1 hour every day. Impossible. A dictionary is only for reference.
So that's a basic hit. I mean,
no problem. They are not testing your vocabulary. Don't think that they will get exhausted reading the same words over and over again. You know only 10 words. You can write your answer with 10 words. No problem. So they are not testing your vocabulary, not your language skill. So only your skill for your skill in presenting. You have a good vocabulary, that will definitely help you. That is another case. You have a more wider basket of words to present your ideas with. That will definitely help you. But it is not that you don't have a good vocabulary, that doesn't mean you can't write the answer. It does not mean that. You understand? You have only 10 or 20 words in your vocabulary. You can still write your answer with those few words. No problem at all. They don't give negative marks for not writing different words. You understand? No problem. Don't think that you need to have an excellent vocabulary to write answers. At least in the essay, probably you can try to, include different words and all that. But other than that, even
Taking paper, do you think it will require any specific focus study, or will it be just like when it comes to case study approach? Will it just check your aptitude just like that instead of, I mean, even without preparing for that?
This UPSC paper, they will always do a journalistic approach. Most of you will be from different backgrounds. So they want the syllabus to be such that everyone will be able to answer the questions which they are asking. So they will put questions like that only. No need to worry too much about that. If you can get a general idea about these subjects, then it is good. But no need to worry too much.
Because one item in that is teachings of great leaders, something like that. One item is. So does it imply that we should go and learn Gandhiji's life or say Nehru's life like that, or say it is just based on our understanding?
see, that would be too much of a thing to do, because depends on whom you think is great as well. You start off and choose leaders based on your choice and start reading their works. That will take you around 4 or 5 years. So like Anil said, I think it's better to leave the paper to itself, because like he said, especially the last paper, this one on ethics and human values and all that, it is bound to be a very generalist kind of paper. It's one that anyone can probably attempt at least. And I don't think a person from any specific background will have any upper hand on this paper, because I don't think there is any degree that teaches ethics. It is part of yourself. So I think you can just be yourself in answering those questions, and that is what it should be, because nobody other than the UPSC has any clear idea on how the paper is going to be, including those institutes in Delhi. So you can keep in touch with people in Delhi, because what I've heard is, you must also have heard that some of the institutes do have sources inside. So probably you can keep in touch with the leading institutes in Delhi. Students are studying there. Get in touch with the materials distributed there for the last paper, especially. So that can give you an idea of how to go about preparing. Not more than that. Don't spend more time than don't go about reading works of great leaders. If you've already read, well and good. That is definitely going to help you, but not more than that.
One more thing, many of you might be engineers, right? How many of you had ethics as a subject in engineering?
They also have for MBA.
Yeah, MBA also, but MBA is post-graduation. See, this, I think those textbooks which they prescribe for engineering ethics, that might be good in preparation. Yeah, I won't say that they will ask exclusively from that, but regarding that engineering textbooks, they are teaching some people a new subject, so they are pretty basics. So if you can get any such books and read it, that will be better, I think. It's my personal opinion. Can't completely be sure about that. It's a new subject, but it's a start for most people. Okay.
Not the language you put it in. Okay, it is just about you have some 1.5 page, and the content that you put in this 1.5 page, not the way you put it, not the language, not the grammar, not the flowery words or anything. It's just about that content you put it in the answer sheet. You may be knowing a lot of information, but you have to put it in the answer sheet. That is important. And another thing about the consistency. Okay, you have to see the exam in its totality. Okay, this is an exam for 300 marks or 250 marks. Okay, you may write a brilliant answer for a 20 marker and you may miss some other 20 markers. But that won't fetch you an average score of 50% or 60%. Okay, you have to attempt all the answers. That is very important. If you have at least a vague idea about the question, you should attempt it. That is very important for this exam. Okay, should attempt almost all the questions. Even I attempted the questions I didn't have any idea about. Okay, and maybe I didn't get any marks for that, but still I attempted it. Okay, and you have to see the exam in its totality too. Okay, you fared well for the first paper, but it is not just about the first paper. You have to fare well in the complete examination. Okay, in the whole examination, all this 9 papers. That will give you a good rank. Okay, consistency is something that the UPSC is looking for while preparing for the exam. I mentioned before, it is a long exam. You have to have preparation for some 7 or 8 months. So you have to be consistent throughout, and you have to be consistent when you are writing the exam. Okay.
Sometimes it happens that you know some question very well, and you will tend to lose more time on that. Never do that. Whatever you write, there is some maximum marks, and you will get that much only. But if you present what you know in a simple manner, and they are able to understand that, then that's okay. Don't put ornate language or anything. If you can present it simply, that's the best thing. So then only you will get time for other questions. Even if you know some question, you don't know the answer correctly, you will know something. Try to put that in the paper, even if you don't know the answer exactly what they are asking.
Never get carried away. Okay. Prescribe a time limit for the answer and stick to that.
Yeah. Well, even if you are not able to complete one answer in your prescribed time, don't worry. Try to attend maximum questions possible. If you know, if there is some question that you don't know completely, then okay, you can leave it. But don't waste your time on questions that you know very well, trying to answer it perfectly.
Right now, how important is the selection of the optional subjects in this present scenario of change?
In this new pattern, I guess the weightage for optionals has definitely come down. You cannot know that, no? But even then, optionals is one place that can boost your confidence. So, GS, how much ever you prepare, how much ever you study, it all depends on the kind of questions they ask, the day of the exam, many factors. But as far as optionals are concerned, that is one place you can be confident about yourself. You can ensure that you will score a minimum marks for your optionals if you study properly. So in that sense, even now, I guess optionals have their importance. The optional, not optional, only one optional. So it does have its own importance even now, because those 500 marks, not just throwaway marks. No, 500 means a lot. So each and every mark counts, because probably the value of 1 mark has probably I don't think anyone else knows it better than me, because the difference between me and the third ranker is 1 mark. So even every mark counts. So in that sense, the optional paper still has its own value, and the best. So as far as choosing optional subjects is concerned, that also has its importance, because there are people who will tell you that PubAd is high scoring, go and choose PubAd. Or geography has good support. There are good Delhi material available for geography, go and take geography. No. Ensure that you are comfortable with the subject. I was not comfortable studying PubAd, because I was also in a dilemma when it came to choosing my second option. One, I was decided on medical science, but when it came to choosing my second option, I was also in a very confused state. I went about asking many people who are already into the field.
Better marks in this year's examination. So obviously my marks would be around 35% of the 100% I am taking that one. That's what I said. What is the basic difference, that whether is the writing skill that is required, or the content, or basic difference?
It actually is a mix of both. Like Alby said before, you have the whole content, you know everything about the thing, but you don't know how to express yourself. Very difficult. You have to write your answer in half a page, but you know things that can go into pages and pages. No point. You understand? So know at least a minimum, and ensure that you can express yourself in the limited amount of time and space. So it is actually a balance of both writing and content, because they are looking for content, but it depends on what you write, how you write it.
The writing he mentioned is not about the way you write.
It's very easy to study, small syllabus, very limited syllabus, and good material is available for PubAd. It is kind of a subject that has been designed for the UPSC exam. Yes or no? And there are people who teach PubAd in Kerala also. There are so many people that choose PubAd that you get a very good group of friends to study with, share your ideas. Then I went through the syllabus. the only thing that struck me, probably more than thinkers. Yes or no? You need to, like Alby said, you need to get into their shoes and think of these issues in their sense. So very, very difficult as far as I was concerned, because I was studying science my whole life. I was studying medicine, and then before that also I was inclined towards science. So as far as that kind of a person is concerned, studying PubAd is impossible. So ensure that you have a basic flair for the subject, not flair, a small taste at least for the subject before choosing it. Otherwise you will end up messing it up very badly. Because Alby here, he used to write from a very young age. He used to write and all, as far as I can understand. So he chose Malayalam literature, and he got good marks. So if you don't have a flair for Malayalam, even I could have chosen Malayalam, because people used to tell me it was high scoring, the paper does not go outside Kerala, so the person correcting it would definitely want a Malayali to get into service, so he'll give you good marks. You hear all kinds of stories about language papers. Don't go by those things. If you are comfortable with Malayalam, if you are into reading Malayalam, I never used to read Malayalam newspapers also. I just took Malayalam for my 10th standard, that's all. So my knowledge of Malayalam is restricted to that small Kerala Padavali textbook, that's all. So very limited knowledge. So you can't go ahead and write a whole subject with that knowledge. So if you are good with Malayalam, go ahead and take it, no problem. So you need to have a basic taste for it, and then once you have the taste for a subject, then you have to think about all these other things. You need to have, if it is part of your graduation, or if it is a subject that you've already studied, no problem. But otherwise you need someone to teach you. Because this is an exam, as I told you before, you need to write the answers properly, and you need to study this big subject within a limited period of time. So you need a good teacher, very important. So like our friend, IFS friend asked me now, if I chose zoology because I had an excellent teacher in my academy. So, and zoology was related to medicine. The second paper, around 60% of zoology and medicine was overlapping. The syllabus was overlapping, especially the second paper. So I chose zoology. So there are multiple factors that you need to consider. You need to have a good teacher. You need to have good material available. You need... Yes, that is also probably one thing you can consider, but if I shouldn't say that, because if I said that, then I shouldn't have chosen zoology in the first place. Alby said that you have to think about the scoring, the amount of marks that people have scored for the option before. Zoology was traditionally a very low scoring subject. So had I looked into that, I would never have taken zoology in the first place. So that is also probably important, but I had no other option. So probably that is why I chose zoology. But if you have more options, you can also look into the fact whether the option is generally a high scoring or a low scoring subject. Subjects like zoology, very low scoring. So, but you have no other choice, go ahead and take it, no problem. And look into whether good material is available. Don't choose all those rare subjects just because you wanted to be an engineer. Don't go and take civil engineering as your option. I have a friend, I came across a girl who had taken medical science as her optional because she wanted to be a doctor. She was an engineer, but she always wanted to be a doctor. So she saw this as an opportunity to study medicine, and she took medical science as I don't know if she cleared, probably she has cleared, I don't know. But that is stupidity, yes or no? She could have become the first rank had she chosen something else. So don't do such stupid things. This is just an exam. Ensure that you choose an optional that fetches you the greatest marks, and that you are comfortable studying, that's all.
Something related to this, do you think UPSC feel like some high scoring subject will pull it down? Something like last year's PubAd question paper if they see. It seems like for some years PubAd has been like very high scoring. Last year's PubAd paper I felt like it was, so I studied geography and PubAd, pretty much a good part of mains.